We are on.
Awesome, man.
Trevor, welcome back.
Thanks for having me, Chris.
Of course. So what's brewing, man?
Well, I think didn't I see you in January, or I think it was January. So we've
Something
had
like that.
about 2 months to get everything kind of going, but we've been rocking and rolling, man. We have 32. We opened registration in February, within a day.
For anybody who didn't see that first episode, what are you talking about?
Okay, so I came on earlier in January and we discussed Miracle League of Martin County, and we talked about how my wife and I decided that we were going to start this nonprofit here in Martin County just because we've seen how effective and incredible it was in Palm Beach County and how awesome it was for our child. So we decided to start Miracle League of Martin County, and it's been rough, man. I mean, we're starting.
It's been rough?
Yeah, well, we're starting everything from scratch.
True.
So we have to figure everything out ourselves, and we've reached out to corporate and other people that have done Miracle Leagues in different counties, and we've gotten some tips along the way. But it's all, you know how it is when you first start something. It's trial by error. So we're but it is all God, man. All glory to God, because honestly, everything's just falling in line. Everything's just fitting perfectly. And it's anytime that I need something, all of a sudden it's like, oh, there you go. Mm-hmm. And so that's how I know, honestly, that's how I know that this is meant to happen, is because every time that there's a hurdle to overcome, it's like that hurdle gets lowered down for me to just step over, instead of me thinking I have to just jump. This is going to be such a hard hurdle to jump over. And all of a sudden I get to it, and it's this little step stool of a hurdle because God's put it to where we're able to do things. And so Miracle League of Martin County has been flourishing. I mean, Caleb.
What is Miracle League? Just,
Oh, sorry.
For anybody who's not sure.
So my son, Johnny, is autistic, and he has a hard time acclimating and doing things that a neurotypical child would do easily. One of the things that he has a hard time with is trying to find something that he's passionate about, and Johnny really clung to baseball. And so we learned that he loved baseball, so we started getting him interested, and I started throwing baseball, playing catch with him, letting him hit the bat. But we started looking around, and we couldn't find anything in St. Lucie County that would allow my special needs son to play baseball.
Because you guys were going down to West Palm.
So yeah,
to do Miracle League of West Palm.
So we had to start driving all the way to West Palm Beach in order for that to
And you're
occur.
like, man, it's time to do this around here. What about the local people here?
Yeah. Well, it didn't make sense. I mean, why travel 45 minutes south, 45 minutes to an hour south, each way, when we could open up the same nonprofit here, help the same children that are here, because there are a lot of special needs children here in Martin County and in St. Lucie County, all along the Treasure Coast. And honestly, it's been kind of a success.
Yeah, you're right. Your roster's full.
But Chris, we opened up registration, and within opening up, and we didn't tell anybody, right? I didn't say anything to anybody about registration is going to be open on this date. I kept alluding that it would be open around February 6th or 7th. And my wife started the registration, right? And we didn't send a mass email out. And at 4 a.m., people started registering because they were checking to see if we had started the registration without us even announcing it.
Yep.
They were checking to see if we had started the registration, and people started registering. So we immediately sent a notice out that day to tell everybody, and within 24 hours, we filled up. And this is just...
Do you vet it out for local people?
It's all. Yeah, we ask that we don't vet anything just because we were the people that were driving from Martin and St. Lucie County to get to Palm Beach. So we don't want to prohibit or inhibit anybody from coming into the Miracle League of Martin County.
Yep.
Hopefully they do what we did and do a year or two in Martin County, and then maybe they bring it to their county. I'm all for that.
Yep.
But 32 people, and it was just immediate. And so, mind you, this is our first time. Not a lot of people know about us. So it was kind of incredible to see, and we knew...
It shows you how much of a need there is.
And that's what I was going to say. We knew that the demand is huge here because 24 hours. And mind you, Chris, I didn't talk to to the Hope Center. I didn't talk to ARC. And these are two huge facilities that help with special needs individuals. And if I was having a hard time filling registration, I thought, okay, just you could go to them and just say, hey, listen, this is available. Tell your students, tell your the people that are coming into your practice, hey, this is available for you. But that didn't happen, man. And so I know that it kind of makes me sad, honestly, because we had to shut down the registration, and immediately people started waitlisting, and we were getting emails that were like,
how many people are on your wait list?
I think about 6 now. Yeah. But we closed it. We've gotten more emails than people being on the wait list too. People are saying, hey, I know that you've closed registration, because we put it on our website, like registration's closed, but you can fill out the wait list form.
So where do you have, right? So let me go back to it. So your opening game is April 4th, right?
Yes.
Today is March 12th.
Mm-hmm.
So that's right around the corner. Where do you have need if you're full and waitlisted for players? Where are you at now? What's kind of the next step in
volunteers
preparing for
man.
April 4th?
Volunteers.
So how deficient are you on volunteers?
So it's not deficient. Like I told you, if nobody comes out, I will run the bases with the kids. And
how many people need to get involved so that those parents can relax and enjoy watching their kids run the bases with somebody? And
I need at least 32 each week. And so what we've been doing, and it's a little bit hard because we have to background check all of the volunteers.
Yeah, right, true.
And so that costs us money.
Yep.
And so, we've been blessed because we actually have received quite a few donations from certain individuals, all lawyers, which I get it because I'm an attorney, and I'm going to be telling all my friends and everybody that I see or meet, I tell them about it. And so, and I'm passionate about it, and they see it. So big shout out to Alita Waldman, Vital Title, Stephen Waldman. They honestly, they funded this whole thing, most of this whole thing. All the odds and ends, they are the ones that are responsible for liability insurance, for renting the field, for buying a PA system. And Chris, this PA system,
D. Berard.
Now D. Berard he's doing the uniforms. And he's solely responsible for getting these. Him and our law firm are solely responsible for these uniforms. So all the odds and ends was Alita Waldman and Vital Titled Stephen Waldman. And then we have Philip D. Berard and the Sherrard Law Group that did the uniforms.
It's good to have lawyer friends.
And then there's Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Fawnrath, and I always mess up the name. It's on our website, but we told them about it, and they immediately were like,
"That's awesome.
What do you need?" And I said, there's a mascot. It's called Homer the mascot, and he's got this big baseball head, and it's a funny little mascot. And I told him, I said, we'd like to get a mascot. And he said, how much is it? And I said, $2,500. And he goes, we'll pay for it.
There you go.
So we got the mascot too from them. So it really is these 5 law firms and title companies that they came together, and we're so blessed, man, honestly. And so money wise for spring, I'm not saying we don't need any more money, but for spring, for right now, I think we're good to go to get this started. We've got our liability insurance. We've got the field rented. We have our 32 individuals. We have our coaches. We have our announcer. We purchased this incredible PA system that is just going to be, it's going to be awesome, because most of the time, what's incredible about baseball is hearing your name announced. And
totally,
blah, blah,
yeah.
And then when
Are you going to do theme songs? Walkout
yeah,
songs?
I know, but we are. We
Yes.
have little songs. And I asked all the parents, what the kids' favorite song is. But the funny thing is most of the songs are Disney songs. Okay. So it's going to be like the kid's going to be walking out to Moana, but whatever, man. We're going to do it.
Whatever makes you happy, man.
But it's incredible. So not only are we got this PA system where we got these banners that we're going to put up and everything, coolers. So let me.
You're set up.
So ready for this? So right after this podcast, and I don't know if the podcast was a part of it, I'm
Hopefully.
hoping it was.
Yeah.
But right after this podcast, I received a call, and her name was Gracie Moore, and she is a cadet at the police academy, right? So she said, "Hey, Trevor, we have to do this acts of service at the police academy where we pick an organization and we help them out." And they said, we talked about your organization and we want to help out your organization. And I said, really? And they're like, yeah. And they said, just send us a list of everything that you need. So I sent them a list of all these softballs, soft core baseballs, baseball bats, coolers, first aid kit, snacks, all those things. And so, we get a lot of people that say we want to help out, but then they just don't respond. And so I was hoping that they would help. And we got a call, I think about a week or two after, and they said, can you come pick it up? We would love to meet you guys. We have this donation. So I said, absolutely. And again, when I tell you, everything just started working perfectly, because right at the same time, and this, I know it was from your podcast, I got a call from CBS News. And so Dylan over at CBS News said, this is incredible. We'd like to do a story on you. And I said, perfect. So we met with Dylan and CBS over at Sailfish Park, and they did a little bit of a story. And then we all went over to the police academy over in Fort Pierce, and we
Awesome,
received this huge gift from this. And let me tell you how intimidating it is. Walking into a room of about 100 police officers, soon to be police officers, just looking at you. It's so intimidating, man. I'm like, I walked in, I didn't think there would be so many people in there. And I walked in, and it was just like, everybody turned and just stared. And I'm like, huh, I didn't know what to say, man. But
listen. It's because when we were younger,
yeah, right.
we've been redeemed.
Yes, but you see the police officers, and you're just like, oh God.
Yeah, police made you nervous.
Yeah, but it's incredible. And that's the look they give you. They give you this look like they kind of sizing you up, But it was incredible because they were all so loving, man. Because I brought Johnny, and they got to see, their donations, who was being affected by their donations, positively. Yep. And it was incredible because Johnny went in there and he was just all happy and everything. Me and Kayla were just kind of like, oh my gosh, there's so many people watching us. But Johnny was just running around, and he really brought like all the nerves down. Everybody was like family after that. Yeah, and it was really great. We got a great group picture, but I really have to say thank you to them. They were incredible. The police academy really showed up for us, and truthfully, all these organizations in Martin County, and this, I'm going to segue to this. We need volunteers, and I've reached out to so many different companies and organizations, and I started having to think outside the box because of it. And so, like you said, April 4th is our opening game. And our opening game, we actually have 10 volunteers now that have signed up. We're going to be background checking them this week. So 10 volunteers that are fully able to be for all 8 games. Okay, so that there's 10 of us. All right, well, 12 including my wife and I. So there's 12 of us, and then on top of that, we have volunteers that are coming in for specific games. The first 3 games, we actually have a few judges coming out. It's really cool to see Judge Hendricks, Judge Roberts. There's a couple of them that are coming out, and a few attorneys that will be there too. So it's cool to see the judiciary coming out. Like, it just shows you that a lot of people go, oh, judges, they're so, they just rule from the bench. They're so out of touch with the community. And it really, I can speak from experience. That's not true in Martin County. Palm Beach County, Miami, you can probably get that because they're huge. They're big cities and big jurisdictions. But here in Martin County, I love the judges, and all of the judges are these family, good people, and like they just want to see this county flourish, and they want to see the community flourish. And so the minute I tell them about this, they're just like, I'm in. We're
That's
in.
Awesome.
So we have these judges. So we think we have about 14 to 15 volunteers right now.
Monday the 25th. So yesterday was our commission meeting. It's the second and fourth Mondays. Monday the 25th, you should at least come do public comment
Okay.
and give the commission an update on where this is at. And also remind them, with Brightline announcing that these ball fields are used and this is going to be a huge community event that's going to help the least of these.
I mean, we picked Sailfish Ballpark for a reason. I mean, we did. I mean, it's the center of our town.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I played baseball over there, practiced baseball over there when I was a kid. And so it's like these ballparks, they mean the world to a lot of people. And so we have to preserve those ballparks. I mean, we have to. And not only that, my goal is to make that ballpark something completely different and to completely change it and to revamp that ballpark. Not to sell it, not to get rid of it, not to make it something else for out-of-towners or whatever they're going to do. That ballpark has to remain a Martin County, a Stewart entity. Yep. And honestly, what my plan, my goal is, and I'm going to be clear and upfront with everybody. I want one of those fields. I want one, and I'm going to take one of those fields. I'm going to rubberize it. I'm going to make it wheelchair accessible. I'm going to make it so people of all orientation, anybody can go out there and play baseball. You don't have that anywhere in Martin County. You don't. And so it's time that we start thinking about the special needs community. And we stop thinking about our pockets. I mean, great, we can sell it and do what with it? That is needed. What we need.
So, all right. So this at the last CRB meeting. I'm trying to see if I can pull it up. But Mark Breckbill, there was only a handful of them there. But Mark Breckbill was the first one to say what a lot of people have probably been thinking, right? When they're talking about money and Brightline. Brightline announcing allows those ball fields to now have a lot of pressure on them. I'm seeing if I can pull it up. Puts a lot of pressure on them to be sold, right? Which I would never advocate for. I'll just say that.
It's a staple in Martin County.
But if you look overhead, right? So yeah, it was at the, for anybody who wants to go listen to it and see. But Mark Breckbill's comments in the board member comment section were around, should we start talking about what we want to do with the ball fields, which would imply selling them, right? Because they'll be worth a lot of money, or leasing them maybe, but leasing them would include probably apartments or some kind of mixed use thing. So I think what you're doing is incredibly important, and I hope it really takes off. So there's just one more layer of people, the community, seeing that those ball fields are being used, they're being invested into, they're needed, and not to have that very special space be converted into apartments.
Are we just not thinking of our kids now? Is that just what we're doing as a city and as a county? We just don't think about our children.
Unfortunately, there's things that are worth more than money, but
right. Like the happiness of our kids,
yes.
Like family.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Not
Honestly,
not to get you heated.
Well, I'm not, but
I think part of why you're beyond even helping people locally is
we need
to help protect those ball fields.
And that's what I was going to say. Truthfully, we need the ballparks. And honestly, where we could go to Palm City, we could go to Jensen Beach, I could go to Langford Park if I wanted to, but I don't want to do that. I picked Stewart for a reason. I was born right across the railroad tracks at that right across from Kiwanis Park, at that little house where my practice is.
Yeah, it's across the street from your practice.
We were raised there as kids. So I'm not trying to see little Stewart become something different. But honestly, and that's why this is so important. That's why being there on opening night and showing that the community needs these fields, that they are using these fields, come out on April 4th. Show the community, show the city of Stewart that we have to have these fields for these reasons. But truthfully, Chris, the great part of Miracle League that's coming up that I'm going to say is we were talking about April 4th, and we were talking about what's going to happen in volunteers. And honestly, April 4th, and I want to tell you a little bit more about this progress. So April 4th is our opening game. What's really cool is I had, like I was saying, I had to think outside of the box for volunteers. And usually you contact, and I did, high schools. I contacted the athletic departments to see if they can be involved. And I got some people that were interested in it, but it kind of fizzled and just kind of went away. And I get it. They're very, it's spring training for baseball. They're very busy right now. But I'm still hoping that Martin County High School, athletic department, South Fork High School, Jensen Beach, Jensen Beach has been kind of talking to me. RJ Costello and some of the coaches over at Jensen Beach, they're still discussing coming out, and we're hoping that they can come out for one of the dates in May. But where I have been getting some talk and people have been considering us is the ROTCs, man. I reached out to Jensen Beach Air Force JROTC, and the minute it was insane. Like I wrote to them, and like within an hour, I got a response back from I think the staff sergeant over there, and they were like, "We're in. Do you need a color guard for the opening ceremonies?" And I said, "Sure." Yeah. And so they're going to be coming in. The JROTC for Jensen Beach is coming in, and they're going to be doing the opening ceremonies, and they're going to actually be coming in to volunteer.
Awesome.
So the students from Jensen Beach High School on opening night will be coming. The ROTC is going to be doing the color guard, the Star Spangled Banner, and we're hoping we can do the Pledge of Allegiance. I don't want to push it though, because these kids want to play, and I don't want them to just have to sit there for everything. But I'm going to try. And then on top of that, I need to reach back out to the fire department, but we believe that the fire department's coming out. The Martin County Fire Department is going to be coming out.
Did you hit up the city?
Yeah. When you say hit up the city,
did you call?
I've told Jeff and everybody.
Yeah.
They know. I'm going to reach back out to him. It's a good idea.
If you come on that Monday, he'll probably be there.
Yeah, and so we're going to. We have them. We have the fire department. We have Martin County Sheriff's Department who's going to come out. We got the Stewart Police Department that's going to come out. That's what I'm saying. Tumos, the chief is coming out. And then we have the ROTC, like I said. We have a local chef that's going to come out, and he's Howard the chef. He's going to come out, and he's going to do some grilling and cooking. And
you've done a lot, man.
I
feel like
honestly,
I didn't talk to you that long ago.
Bro, you've been
busy.
We've been hitting the pavement running, because honestly,
how do you have time to lawyer?
It's so hard, dude. And 3 kids. Yeah. I'm so tired. I'm tired. I'm so tired. I'm just tired. I'm tired. No, man, but this opening night, this opening night's gonna be incredible. And then on top of that, you ready for this? So we have opening night, April 4th. I think we're good with volunteers. I still want people to sign up and volunteer. I'm not saying we're good with volunteers, but for opening night, I think
we need more.
We're covered when it comes to opening night. We have enough for people to run the bases with the children. But
do you have that schedule somewhere?
Yes, I sent
on
it to
here.
You. Yeah, I sent it to you.
But so people can see it and maybe mark it down.
Yeah, and so what's really cool is what we're trying to do is we're trying to make it so every game we have it set up to where we have enough volunteers, because we will rely on our 14 volunteers that we have, 10 to 14 that are coming in every single game. But we also want to have like some extras just in case, man. And so our opening game, we have the ROTC, Sheriff's Department, Stewart Police Department, and we think we're good with volunteers. The next night on April 11th, there's a business called Socially Synced. And it's a nonprofit for they help with behavior therapy.
Perfect.
And there's quite a few people there, about 20, and they've decided to sponsor that night. And so on 4/11, they're going to come out and volunteer as well. There's also Grey's Anatomy, which is a local doctor, nurse practitioner in the area.
I saw that.
Yeah,
I don't know if they're new, I just noticed that sign.
Grey's. So she's actually going to be coming out.
Graze.
Yeah, and so she's coming out on that night as well. So on 4/11, we're going to have a couple of businesses that will be taking care of the volunteering as well.
But wherever you have those baseballs, you need people?
Exactly.
Got it.
And then on 4/25, it's Law Enforcement Day. We have both Martin County and the Stewart Police Department are going to come out and run the bases with the kids, and it's going to be Law Enforcement Officer Appreciation Week.
Awesome.
And then the next day is Picture Day. We have an actual photographer that's going to be coming out. He's volunteered his services, and he's going to be coming out and taking professional pictures of all the children and everybody. So we have some really cool pictures to give to the parents, but we still need some volunteers for that day. What's really cool is I have South Fork High School, JROTC, has reached out, and they are going to try to find a date.
I would imagine if you talked also to Mike Mortel, the city manager, again, if you come to that meeting, right, or Jim Churlsky, who's like the community services head, or both. And I don't want to volunteer anybody's time for them.
Yeah.
But potentially having like a day where staff could come, you know,
I'd love that.
Like a city of Stewart is one of those days, but you can show that to him and make that available, and maybe he could, you know, talk to HR or something.
I would love that, man. But
at least informally sort of telling everybody at the city, hey, we would love to have a day where you guys are all there.
Yeah.
This is where we have need 18th.
And it really is just, it's all of May and on the 18th.
Yep.
And so what we're going to do is hopefully some people show up from the city of Stewart. But what we're hoping is that South Fork ROTC will pick one of these weeks as well, the May weeks. And then we're hoping that maybe South Fork High School softball.
If you have a law enforcement day, what about a fire day?
So I want that, man. But it's weird. But the fire department says that legally they're not able to run the bases.
Okay.
So they said that they could try
Did
to
you
have.
say I'm a lawyer?
Well, I get it. I said, I get that they don't want the
Did you
liability.
talk to Stewart?
But I have liability insurance.
Did you talk to Stewart Fire?
I didn't.
Okay.
You know, that's a good idea.
Talk to Stewart Fire.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. It's a separate.
Yeah, I didn't think of that. That's a good idea. So
Because it's in our backyard.
I'm gonna reach out to them. I'll reach out to them.
This is our home.
Yeah.
So Martin County's awesome, but this is the city of Stewart.
Yeah. No, I'll reach out to them. I didn't think of that. For some reason I didn't even think the city of Stewart had a fire department.
Yeah.
I thought it was.
I know. A lot
It
of
was
people
Martin
don't.
County
They're the
Fire
green
Department.
trucks.
Oh, okay.
So you'll see the red trucks is the county. The green is we have our own PD and fire.
That's good to know, man.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
gonna reach out to them
Yep.
and see maybe if they can do it.
I would imagine they would love to.
Yeah,
It's
that's
more
a good
small
idea.
town. The city's it's different.
Well, if they can do it, man, if they can do it and we can get this ROTC, then we really just need 3 weeks.
And again, I don't want to volunteer them for them.
No, I know.
They need to make that call.
But I'll
they
still
have their own
ask.
logistical concerns, but at least talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
That's a good point. But we're excited, man. I really have to push that we need volunteers. You know, we have some sport, and honestly, we would love.
So how can somebody volunteer? They go on your website, right?
Yeah.
If you're thinking about volunteering, the 9th, the 16th of May. Oh, you said the 2nd as well, right? All those are needed.
Yep. All of May and
then
4/18.
April 18th.
Mm-hmm. And
From
honestly,
6 to 7:30. What would be required of a
that's really
volunteer?
all it
What does
is.
a volunteer need to be able to do?
so a volunteer does, and I have a packet, a volunteer registration packet that I send out to them. But a volunteer, the key of Miracle League is to have individuals from the community come and help these special needs children and special needs adults run the bases, help them catch the balls, help them bat.
You're a buddy.
You're a buddy, and that's what they call them, buddies.
You're a buddy.
And so we ask, and we're going to be doing this. It's like a buddy training Zoom seminar about a week before our date, April 4th. And so we're going to do a buddy training, kind of give them the rundown of
So
what
if you're
they
thinking
need.
about doing this for any of these games, you should hurry up and sign up.
Please,
so you
please
can
do.
get that training.
Yeah, and like I said, even if you sign up later, I'll train you myself if I need to. But we really ask that people sign up. Listen, I know how it is. Everybody, if I come to you and I say, hey, 3 months out, can you do this and this? People go, well, I don't know, man. That's 3 months out. That's something like get closer to that date.
Mm-hmm.
And then you say it, and then all of a sudden you got a bunch of people rushing in and saying, oh, I can help. And we're hoping that occurs in this situation. We're hoping that people were just kind of waiting to see if they would be able to help out. But we really have to get people to come in and help these special needs children and adults. They deserve it. And what I really have to impress on everybody in the community is I know that we're a new nonprofit. I understand that, and I know it's going to take us some time to establish ourselves. I see what the community can do for other nonprofits. I see it Project Lift. I see it at Elevate Hope. I see it. I see what they're able to accomplish because of the community. And so I just ask that you come out on April 4th. You see what we are doing as a nonprofit. You see the happiness that these children have running these bases, and you see how the parents act and react to seeing their children being able to play baseball. I know for a fact, and I stressed this on our last podcast, I know for a fact if you just do one game and you come out and see it, you're going to want to help. And so I'm really just hoping that occurs, because it's incredible to see so many people in the community, once they hear about it, they want to be a part of it. And so I'm really hoping that people will see us, people will talk about us, and people will show up. Because I know once they're a part of it, it's going to be a huge deal.
Yeah. If you've been saving up for a good deed, this should be about as good as it gets.
Just come out, man.
Yeah.
I mean, there's 32 kids, and I should say kids because there are a couple adults as well, but 32 special needs individuals that are stoked to play. I mean, they can't wait to play, and the parents can't wait to play. And honestly, can I just say, man, I sent you a link.
Yeah.
I made sure, my wife and I'm not going to take any credit. Okay. So we made sure that these kids are going to have such a great experience. I'm sorry, but these 32 kids, we've gone all out, and this PA system is going to be incredible for these kids. Being able to hear your name as you're running around bases is going to be awesome. These jerseys, these jerseys are legit, man. I looked everywhere to find good jerseys, and these jerseys are legit. And we're going to have, one of them is going to be the Colorado Rockies, and it's purple and gray, and it's really cool because it has the logo on the front, and we're going to have on the back, we're going to have the logo of Philip D. Berard. And the Sherrard Law Group, and then we're going to have their number, and we're excited, man, because these kids are going to have real jerseys, a real PA system on the diamond, get to bat with some people and actually play some baseball. So we're excited, man. We're really stoked,
So even if beyond like a good deed, even if you haven't had a really bright, deep smile yourself, if you haven't had a great laugh, if you haven't had your heart warmed up in a while, if you're depressed or whatever, this is it. You come do this, you're going to smile, you're going to laugh, you're going to help. Your little heart's going to start beating like the Grinch.
Yeah. No, it's true. And your heart's going to expand 3 times. Honestly, It really is, because I told you this story last time, but when you go out there and you see it, like you just said, like your heart warms up. And not only that, man, like we include everybody. We're going to include all the volunteers, all the people in the stands. At the end of the game, we call it the victory lap. And everybody comes and we all run the bases together. And it's great to see. You get like 100 people all running the bases, smiling, laughing. And then we take a picture. It's a community event. And honestly, it's so awesome to see. I will guarantee you this: there will be people crying. I mean, I did when I got to see my kid laugh and run the bases, and I got to see the buddies having fun with my kid. I'm going to
show them what to do. They're going to go to the website,
Miracle League of MC.org.
Click here. Ready, guys? And just do this. Just sign up. Just do it.
You got to register and then sign up.
Yep.
And so we're going to get you, if you sign up, we'll get you a volunteer shirt. We were charging people for to sign up for the shirt and for the background check. But at this point, because we've had several donations from the law firms,
covered.
We can actually do the background checks and do volunteer shirts for free. So now it's completely free to be a volunteer. We just ask that you come out and help.
Perfect.
But besides that, I will say that the support that we've gotten and the people that have heard about this and reached out and that want to be a part of this, bottom of our heart, we thank you. We couldn't do this without you guys. Kayla and I, we put in the effort, and we're just, the wheels are moving for us, but none of this would be possible without the support of Socially Synced, Grey's Anatomy, the attorneys that I mentioned, Philip D. Berard, Adila, Alita Waldman, honestly, Vital Title, the police department. None of this would be successful without them. The ROTC, they breathed hope into us because we were having a hard time getting people to be a part of this. We're calling, and we're kind of getting the maybe next season. We'll think about it. Maybe next season. I get it. We're new, but once we talked to the ROTCs, we saw that the high schoolers, they're actually excited about this, and it's like, dude, that's all I needed, and it revamped my energy to this, because I was getting like kind of knocked down. Like, are we ever going to get anybody that wants to be a part of this? Like, we have 10 volunteers, it's great, but I want the community. I want everybody to come out. I want this to be a thing.
You will more and more.
Exactly. Yeah. And honestly,
it's a momentum thing. The snowball picks up more.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
So we're excited, man. We did get interviewed by WPTV as well. Megan
McRoberts.
Yeah,
she's awesome.
She's going to be she's doing a story on us as well. I reached out to the Stuart TC Palm. What's his name? Blake is going to do a story on us, but he wants to wait, and he wants to do a story on us after we've done our first game, because he wants to have like a this is what they're doing type situation. So we're getting out there. And we have a flyer that we're going to be posting on Facebook, all the Facebook stuff in the next few days, and hopefully we stir up some support.
Is there anything else besides volunteers that you guys need help with?
Funds still.
Donate.
Like I told you before, we're spring right now. We're set for uniforms and everything. We can actually go to play baseball, but we always have to look ahead. And so,
is it tax deductible or something?
Yeah, everything is. Yeah, and I'll give you the EIN number, and it's all tax deductible. But we have to look ahead. We have to start thinking about.
And they
fall.
can do that on the website.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it goes right to us. And so we have to think about fall. We have to think about these uniforms and liability insurance and everything for the fall season. It'd be a lot easier for us to do it now that we know where we're going and everything, and who we're purchasing stuff from. So we ask that we get donations, reach out to us. Listen, man, honestly, this is going to be marketing for your business is huge, because you're going to be on either a uniform that's a volunteer uniform.
You guys going to put banners up?
Either you're going to be on a banner.
Yep.
It's going to be a registration banner. So when you come into Sailfish Park, we're going to have a table there with a big banner where it says registration, but we're also going to have all of the companies that have helped us on that big banner. You're on our website. We're going to announce, you usually get a sponsorship plaque at the end with the photo of the kids. And not only that.
Are you allowed to put banners up on the fence?
We are. We just have to take them down at the end of the game. And that's if you wanted to be a sponsor. That's
I feel like that would be, I would imagine for a business, that's something they would love.
Exactly. And that's it. It's going to be a huge marketing tool, because there's going to be, listen, truthfully, there's 32 kids, right? And you got to think about it. 32 children. You're going to have mom and dad there, most likely. You're looking at about 64 just having the parents there. And on top of that, people bring in extended family and friends. And we hopefully anticipate over 100 people being there at opening night easy.
And two, for you to spread awareness for Miracle League, as large of a banner as you can afford to put both on Georgia, where, across from Stewart Middle.
Can we?
Why not? Why can't you put that on the fence? Can you not?
I'm gonna say maybe if we could, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. And then if there's some hiccup there, right? if you have to get a permit or something, you could ask them. But and then on MLK, because that's a ton of traffic too. At least for your game. I'm not saying you could keep it up there all the time, but for that game,
it's a good idea.
You should have a humongous banner that says Miracle.
And see, this is why I'm doing this. Honestly, I
and people will go, "What? What is that?"
Yeah, exactly. But I'm only one person, and I don't know. I don't.
You're
know,
not Superman.
Yeah, I don't know everything, and I honestly. So when people tell me these things, I love criticism, like constructive criticism. If you're coming to me with ideas like this, please help me out, because honestly, I need it. I need these kind of out of the box ideas. My wife was the one that was like, "Hey, have we reached out to the ROTCs?" And it's like,
Beautiful.
why didn't we? Like that's and honestly, when I talked to the ROTC, they even said it. They said, everybody reaches out to the sports teams, and nobody ever thinks about the children that are in ROTC. They want to be a part of the community. They're looking for opportunities. So why won't they? So it was great to have another, I'd say underprivileged, another, community that people don't really think about, the ROTC, the kids that are in the ROTC program, and they're stoked. They're excited about it. So we have to think outside of the box in order for this to get huge. And these ideas, like you're giving me Stuart Fire Department,
Like
put
when
up
you
those
go
banners.
by the, like when
Good.
they do the air show and there's the giant banners on Monterey
Who would I talk to for that?
to put it up on the fence.
Yeah.
You could talk to utilities, like his name's Milton Leggett, is in charge of utilities. But even when you come on that Monday for public comment, being in that room would be an opportunity to double check with Mike Mortel, who's the city manager, and say, hey, can I zip tie up on the fence the day of the games banners? Yeah, no problem. Or, hey, make sure you get a permit just so you know what to do. Or, no way. I don't know.
That's a good idea. I'm going to do that.
Yeah, man, like a huge monster,
I'm trying to think of other
6 foot by 30 foot. I'm talking monster banner that's Miracle League of Martin County on, at least on MLK.
That, and I'm trying to think of other organizations. Like, somebody came up to me and they said, you should talk to the other little leagues in this area, because there's traveling baseball leagues.
Yeah, that's true.
There's all these other little leagues that would be like to be, and then people were like, why are you excluding just to just baseball? Why don't you reach out to the football team? Why don't you reach out? And it's like volleyball.
That is true.
Team.
Having kids do little league and play baseball, come out and walk the bases with them.
And so
that's a really good idea.
There's all these other little tiny things that I'm trying to work out right now, but
have that be that day, the 18th, be that team.
There is not enough time in the day for me at this point. Like, I am trying my best to get everything accomplished to get this going, because we are going to be April 4th. I mean, it's going to happen. But these little tiny things, like reaching out to,
I think of the name of that group,
to the football team, reaching out to all these other groups. I'm trying to do that right now, but I hope that I can assure you that it's probably going to we're probably going to fill these in the next few weeks, but I need some outside of the box thinking.
So I sit on the Tourism Development Council. The Tourism Development Council is a board that is comprised of hoteliers, city and county commissioners, and one of the goal of the tourism development is to have, they call it heads and beds.
Yeah.
And so part of that is to help sponsor and finance events that do put heads in beds. So as you get up and get going, that's something you could potentially do is, seek financial assistance from the TDC. But one of the main groups that they'll have come in front of us is the Treasure Coast Sports Tourism. It used to be called like the Treasure Coast Sports Commission, but it's one of those organizations that might be able to help get linked up with, because, and I'll flip it up here if you go back and watch this later in case you forget, but what they will do is basically help the TDC by being the point man for having those events in Martin County. Okay. So they'll leverage the ball fields and have groups come from out of town and have games there.
Yeah.
But they might also have access to some of the local little leagues and various teams, and they may want to help volunteer. But if nothing else, to start getting involved with Treasure Coast Sports Tourism and also TDC as well, especially if you're seeing that you have a percentage of people who are coming in from out of town.
It's a good idea.
Her name is Narissa. Narissa is who runs the TDC, and she's awesome. you
Okay.
know. So like when Ohana is having surf events, or they might get linked up with the TDC and see if they can get funds or whatever.
Somebody told me to reach out to the Hope Sound Community Chest too.
I don't know. Yeah.
I've never heard of them. They were like, you should reach out to Hope Sound Community Chest. I've reached out to Publix. I've reached out to Wawa.
But like you would be a part of this.
I would be a part of it.
You would be an organization even that
Okay.
the Treasure Coast Sports Tourism
Got it.
is
I
involved
get what
with,
you're
because
saying.
you're bringing in,
Yeah.
you're doing their function, and you might even get funds from the TDC that funnels through this group. So you should at least reach out to them and talk to them and see if there's some partnership there.
Okay.
And multiple
It's a good
fronts,
idea.
financial, but even volunteers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
Yeah. But that's the main group who kind of does this here. You should know them. I don't know why I didn't think about it last time.
What is it called?
So it used to be called
Because the TDC. No,
the Treasure Coast Sports Commission, but it has evolved into Treasure Coast Sports Tourism, because they get, I think, a lot of their funding from the TDC.
I'm gonna actually email them.
You should
this
talk
week.
to them. Yeah. Yep.
Because that's a good idea. Because honestly, they'll bring a lot of awareness to us.
Like
as
on your
well.
roster, if you're showing 32 people, right, that are coming for multiple events,
Mm-hmm.
and some of them might be staying in a hotel or something, that's exactly what their purpose is. You're an asset for them to absorb in potentially and work with.
There's an all-star game every year, and then the Miracle League people pick.
Yes.
And so we could be all-star, and if that happens, then there's a lot
Same
of
kind of a
people
thing.
that come
You're
in.
on the same page. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
No, that's a good idea. Thanks, man. So yeah, I will definitely be there on the 25th. I just have to make sure it's at 4 p.m.
Oh, geez. I have to look it up. Probably more like 5.
Okay. And I could probably do it at 5.
Either way, you should be there. You should find a way.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna be there.
The city people are your friends. The city is how.
I'll figure it out.
That's your friends. You're
Yeah.
doing it in their backyard at their ball fields. Those are your people on
Okay.
multiple fronts. It's at 5:30.
Perfect. Okay.
25th at 5:30. There's also a CRA meeting, which at 4, but
I think that's probably what I was thinking about when I said 4. But yeah, man, we're excited. It's going to be incredible. I think it's going to be, it's life changing for these kids. It really is. It brings these kids out of their shell. And you hit it on the head the last time that we met. And a lot of, and I've really been thinking about it since you said it. And it's true. My kid doesn't get that feeling of being a part of a community. And most of the time, I don't hide my son from the community. I'm not like, oh, we don't want to go out there, but I would rather, be at our pool, and our pool, and not disturb everybody else. Cause my son has, meltdowns, or he has, where he starts, flapping, he starts stimming. And that bothers people, and sometimes we get those looks, those like, get your kid under control looks. And my son feels that, and so to us, sometimes it's better just to stay at home, and I never even thought of that until the last time we were talking, and you brought that up. You were like, these children, they don't usually get to have that feeling of happiness, of the community being happy, of oh, look, yeah, and clapping. Instead, they get those looks. And that's true. And honestly, it's made me more passionate about this. Like, if I could be any more passionate about it, it did, because that's another aspect that we really have to look at. And yes, I'm pushing this as being, the kids need to be a part of a community, but the kids deserve to feel included, happy, and they deserve to know that everybody else in the community is happy that they're there.
So, all right. So I'll go deeper into that point, right? So whether or not you can control something neurologically, right? If you're stimming or flapping or
Melting down.
making a noise that is socially not typical or considered normal, you can't control that neurologically. You can't control what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't matter, because what you are facing, even though that's happening and it's out of your control, are the reactions of people around you.
Yep.
And if the vast majority, besides like your mom and dad, of interactions that you're having because you have an uncontrollable neurologic response is at minimum looks of confusion,
Yep.
right? Like if each face that you make contact with is at best confused and at worst judgmental or upset that you're ruining their margarita at the pool or whatever, you know, if that is the bulk of your reactions, that's brutal. That's brutal.
That's my
a
point,
brutal
man.
life. Like what, and day after day, year after year, that is the makeup of your persona without the capacity to even make grace for that. Like I said last time, as an adult, you can intellectualize your way through that and go, oh, Trevor's having a bad day. Trevor must be tired. He's just being a jerk because you can't, you're a kid. You have no ability to even parcel that out and give grace. It's just, it makes up your identity. It's who you are. It's your fault. You're bad. Something's wrong with you, you know? So to have an opportunity where even if just for one day, you have a bunch of people who are not confused or upset or angry by your reaction, are actually smiling, and beyond that, celebrating you as you walk out to your theme song of Moana.
Right.
They're stoked for you. You've got a jersey on and you're successful. Somebody helps you hit a ball that you've never done that in your entire life. And you just got to hit a ball. And maybe you love baseball. Maybe you watch every Marlins or Rockies game on TV your whole life and you've never even hit a baseball. And so that's the greatest day of your life, plus all of those reactions. And now, if nothing else, if you never had another day like that, but you'll be able to have another 7 or 8 of them, right? If you never got to have another one of those, at least you have a day like that to anchor to and compare that is possible in reality.
You want to be our spokesperson? No, but that's Chris,
that's what you're doing.
I couldn't explain it any better because honestly, I mean, you've taken everything that I'm trying to say and you've encapsulated it and made it coherent. I mean, that's how I feel.
That's why it's special.
And that's why you need to come out. That's why people have to come out and be a part of this.
I'll be like you. I'll just be crying the whole time.
Everybody will, honestly. So, no, but I appreciate it, Chris. And that's exactly why this has to happen. You stole the words right out of my mouth.
No,
man.
I'm on the same page. I get it. I understand. So it's going to happen. It's happening. And it's all good stuff. It's going to help save the ball fields with Brightline. It's going to help a bunch of kids.
Their families.
Give their families a break so they can watch their kids and just enjoy them and not have to.
And hopefully, man, honestly, I'd love to expand it. I'd love to do baseball, and then maybe we can do soccer, and then maybe we can do whatever else comes up. Kick. I don't care. Like we'll figure out what other sports kids love to play. So, I mean, that's my goal and hope.
So you just got to get more volunteers. So what are those dates again?
We're starting April 4th. It's going to be every single Thursday, and we start at 6 p.m. We're only asking you to do from 6 to 7. It's only going to be 1 to 2 innings a night. We ask that you come in. If you're a volunteer, we ask you come 15 to 20 minutes early so we can make sure that you're aware of, and assign you a player. Make sure that you're aware of what's going to occur on that date. We ask that you wear loose-fitting clothing. We will provide you a volunteer shirt at some point. Once you do sign up, we'll get your size and we'll purchase the shirt. And once we get it, we'll get it to you. We ask that you do not wear cleats. You wear loose-fitting clothes, shoes, tennis shoes, but no cleats. We don't want you accidentally stepping on one of the special needs individuals. Bring a good attitude, and we want you to be a part of this. So come in happy and just joyful that you get to be a part of something huge and special. And then we just would ask that you bring a friend. I mean, you bring somebody and let them be a part of it as well. And then just know that when you're a volunteer, you're going to be this person's support system. You're going to be sticking by this person no matter where they go, except for the bathroom. You're going to be sticking with this person everywhere. And you're going to try to guide this person to the best of their abilities. Every person that is going to be on that field is special needs in a certain way. Some will be blind, some will be deaf, some will be autistic, some will be have Down syndrome. There's going to be a lot of different. It's going to be a lot of different individuals that have a lot of different needs. And so we would just ask that you help that individual, guide that individual, and help them walk the bases. But you don't need to drag them. You don't need to, just help them as much as possible to get them to be a part of the game. But yeah, April 4th, we please go on Miracle League, www.miracleleagueofmc.org. It's very self-explanatory. Once you go on there, you can just click volunteer, and then you would just sign up to register, and then you would just give me all of your information. You have to do a background check.
Yes.
It's going to happen. So be prepared for that. I don't want to get any guff. I got a little bit of guff from background checks.
In terms of background checks, who would not be qualified to be a volunteer just so they can save themselves?
Anybody with a felony, anybody, obviously anybody that's anything sexual related on their record, but mostly anybody with a felony, and that's it, really. I don't care if you've got a misdemeanor, but it's more of a liability concern. We have to make sure that you're not a sexual predator, that there is nothing in your background that would harm these children if they're
Right.
around you.
You're not going to do harm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we're excited. Please come out, guys. And I gave you guys my cell phone last time. I'll do it again this time. 772-207-6996. You can shoot us an email at info@miracleleague.org. info@miracleleagueofmc.org. Shoot us a Facebook message. We're on there as well, Miracle League of Martin County. But please just reach out to us. We really want you to be a part of this. And we're looking forward to April 4th.
You'll never go back.
You won't.
You'll never go back. You'll see how cool this is.
And thanks a lot, Chris. I appreciate you having me on
absolutely.
the podcast.
You're doing God's work. So anything else?
Brewing? I can't. I'm trying to. There's so much that's occurred that I'm trying to think.
Tornado.
I think that's it.
Cool.
I really do.
Well, if something comes up, let me know. We'll do it again.
All right, man. I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah. Let you get back to work.
Yeah, right.
All right, man.